starts Week 4 of the NFL, and we'll see Bijan Robinson. He had a great week last week, well over 100 on the ground with a score. It's the Vikings and the Panthers, and it comes your way next on EA Sports.
Just a spectacular afternoon for football here in the Tar Heel state of North Carolina as EA Sports welcomes you inside Bank of America Stadium in uptown Charlotte. Today it's Week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Carolina Panthers. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they interplay here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by the former number 3 overall pick back in 2021. It's Trey Lance.
And for how good he is throwing the ball, it's his...
Now a first carry here for Robinson. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. The numbers in last week's ball game for Robinson. There isn't a coach alive who wouldn't like those numbers. Well over 100 yards and a touchdown, too.
Partner, I think all the coaches who are in that great coaching box in the sky would take those numbers.
So dead or alive?
Either way, they would take that kind of production.
Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. Oh, look at the juke. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. We'll get a pause here. There appears to be a Panther who is shaken up on that last play. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. On 2nd down, another shot for Robinson. And he gets it down to the 32. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. Again, it's Robinson. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Andrew Van Ginkel there on the stop. Ball on the 30 now. Here's a 2nd down and 9. 2nd down and a run by Robinson. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. Well, this defense for the Panthers, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Seattle.
This defense certainly has a lot to be proud of coming off of last week's game, because when you only give up 14 points in a contest, you give your team a great chance to win. The best defense in the league is usually going to average giving up 18, 19 points a game. So to be under that, a terrific achievement.
The kick by McManus is good. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. All in all, a pretty decent opening drive, Charles. Pretty balanced. They had the passing game going and the rushing attack, too.
I would think they have to be happy with that start, because you get your ground game going, which means your offensive line and your runners are pretty happy, and then you get your aerial attack going as well. So your quarterback and receivers have smiles on their faces. Now both up to speed, awaiting their next possessions for this game. They can't wait to get started again.
So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. It's the Mississippi State product at quarterback. Calling the shots will be Dak Prescott.
His game last week reminded me of the old song, accentuate the positive. Because that's about all he did, right?
Yeah.
3 touchdown passes, over 300 yards in the air. Receivers happy.
And they got the win.
Got the win. If you're a running back who likes to catch passes, they're happy as well. Big-time game.
Here's 2nd and 10. One of the Panthers' big off-season acquisitions. Here's Miles Sanders. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 13 yards, good for a Panther first down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I'm being given much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. The numbers for Sanders last week, 23 carries, 107 yards.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be satisfying to their entire staff because they're seeing not just a back gain big yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line really in sync.
From the 33, here's a 2nd down and 4. They'll go again with Sanders. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Prescott, and this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
And that's off the right upright, and it bounces away no good. And instead of tying it up, they'll remain down by 3. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a 1st down.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down. You look at this Carolina defense. They find themselves just a couple of spots outside of the top 10 defending the pass, number 12 in the league.
So in prepping for this game, I kept asking myself the question, what's keeping this group from being top 10 in the league against the pass?
And
too many mistakes, especially little mistakes. And those add up into big mistakes. Big mistakes add up into points against you.
Throwing his Lance on 3rd down. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Certainly not a positive sign if you're the D coordinator and you see your guys give up that space so early in the game. 3rd down, that's when the clamps are supposed to come out, but his ability to create things with his legs makes things difficult.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3. Here's 2nd and 7. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Excellent work there by Lance as he scrambles for the first down.
Brandon, that's a gamer move right there. Facing third down, steps up, calls his own number, and nearly makes the house call. If I'm the coach, I let him take another one right here. Give him a chance to be the first one to hit the end zone after that effort he just gave him.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. And they'll try again here, first and goal after the false start. To throw, it's Lance. Yeah, he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. His fourth rushing touchdown on the year, his fifth overall, as his guys are able to extend their lead. Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
Oh, Davis from the top rope. I like it. Extra point from McManus is good, and the lead grows to 10-0. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Panthers coming back out onto the field for their second drive. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it first and 10. Here's Prescott. The Sanders has got it complete. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it'll be second down. Hey, look at this defense for the Vikings. They come into this one ranked number 5 in the NFL against the run.
And the mantra of this unit, get to the football. Fly to the ball carrier. And you know you can tell that they do it really well? At the end of each play, when you click off the frame, count the number of guys that are around the ball carrier. It's always 7, 8, 9 guys. They get to them each and every play.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10. Hodgins in motion. And he'll get an opportunity with it on the touch pass. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. The Panthers had 2-1 now to start the campaign, and they moved back above 500 with a victory last week.
And you look at their start, a win, a loss, then a win. This might be something we see from them a lot this year, because when they're at their best, they can play with anybody. But bringing their best every week, that's been a challenge thus far.
Now a 3rd and 6. Here's Prescott. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 44-yard line. 15 yards there on the catch and run.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up first and 10 at the 44-yard line. Hodgins in motion. And he'll get it here on the touch pass. Oh, that is well read defensively. A great job of setting the edge, and that little touch pass is going to turn into a loss. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
10-0 the score after one on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Charlotte, and it's the Panthers with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. To the air again, Prescott. And he's got Smith-Njigba. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. They'll run with Sanders up the middle. And he will take it across from His second rushing touchdown on the year. And the Panthers have got it back to within a score.
In as many coaches' meetings as we sit in, we hear the word finish all the time, don't we? And on that play, the back actually finished getting into the end zone, breaking the last tackle. Tried to wrap up, tried to use the proper technique, just wasn't able to get it done.
Extra point right down the middle. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. After the touchdown on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Bijan Robinson leading the offense out for another drive.
First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. I think we'll see plenty of that as this season moves on.
And I'm sure he said challenge accepted.
And he can muster only a couple here to the 24.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away. McLeod to return it.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt.
And it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10.
Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here.
For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. But the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do. So I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant. Keep throwing it around.
Shedding the tackle. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 11 yards and a Panther first down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. Short throw, hauled in by Kelsey. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Prescott. Right side and caught by Kohler. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And that'll be caught by St. Brown. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 20-yard line. A solid gain of 15 yards and the sticks move.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And now following the completion, we're going to get a stoppage here for an injury. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Prescott to throw it. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Vikings are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw some away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away and could cost them a ball game?
Minnesota's offense takes over possession. They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10. Now a pass hauled in downfield. Down the right sideline, Christian Kirk. Touchdown, Vikings. Christian Kirk, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Yeah, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. McManus's point after is good, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The possession of the football goes over to Carolina. A big mistake last time they were on the field, tossing that interception inside the red zone and really taking away what had been a pretty successful drive up to that point.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any question about it. As they head out on the field for this drive, that whole offensive unit is just thinking redemption. You know, they moved it really well, didn't pay it off. This time, they want to make sure that ball ends up in the end zone, and they're the ones possessing it.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. Yeah, he'll fight for a couple as the tackle is made at about the 32. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time. And
you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try to fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Prescott. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. 2nd and 10.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
Prescott. Finding Smith and Jigba downfield. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 41-yard line.
Well, this hasn't really been a first half to remember on either side of the ball. But I think this kind of makes this an important drive. You'd love to get this back to a one-score game if you can. And that's good work there to get some yardage here and pick up the 1st down.
Smith and Jigba in motion right. Running the jet sweep as Prescott bats it forward. Oh, that is well read defensively. A great job of setting the edge, and that little touch pass is going to turn into a loss. After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Prescott yet again. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's going to frustrate the coaching staff a little bit as they dialed up the deep shot, but they weren't on the same page on that play. Heck, I don't think they were in the same book. I think he thought he was going to do something else, ends up throwing it over the sidelines.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And the Vikings are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield.
So rare to see any quarterback toss back-to-back interceptions in the NFL, regardless of status or experience. Whether it's him personally or just the offensive game plan, I think this defense is reading something out there, and they're holding the upper hand.
Minnesota now ready for their next possession. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48. From the gun, it's Lance. That's caught by Gabriel Davis. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll make it 2nd down.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5 at the 46-yard line.
Robinson up the middle. And a Good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. 45 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
And the Vikings first down.
On first down, Lance. And completes it to Kirk over the middle. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And it's second down.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up second and 3 at the Panthers' 24-yard line.
They'll try the jet sweep with Kirk. And for a second straight play, just nowhere to go thanks to this Carolina defense. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. They got to get it to the 21 here on third down. Here's Lance. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's fourth down. Now McManus will line up for the field goal. He hit his first one. This from 44 yards out now.
A 44-yard attempt.
The kick by McManus is good. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
At their own 21-yard line.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Ernest Jones coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Second down, Prescott. Open man, it's the tight end, Kelsey. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
First and 10 at the 33-yard line.
Prescott now. And that one complete to Hodgins. The Panthers got to go quickly. They're moving with a sense of urgency right now. Now Prescott. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Prescott now from the 50. And that nearly intercepted. Well, the free safety roaming into position almost had it, but it's second down. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Left side here to Sanders. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. And that will be incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. Bijan Robinson leading the offense out for another drive. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. Now, I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. To throw, it's Lance. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. Now Lance. to the right side and incomplete.
That might be the third down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. Here's McLeod on the return. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt, 6 on the return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as we say goodbye to September and take a look around the NFL here on this first day of October. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, and we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. As we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Panthers going to get the football first, trailing here as well as we resume play in this second half. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
They got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Brings up 3rd and 2.
They'll try and run for it with Sanders, and he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
But these guys are going to chomp into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll punt it away for the second time. Now Osborne to return it. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They start on the ground with Robinson here. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 32-yard line.
Lance looking to throw it. And Davis has it over the middle. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
Well, this has certainly turned into a showcase game for what he can do on the ground because they're just continuing to give him chances to run it, and he's earning every additional carry by putting up positive yardage on each run.
And this is intercepted. He was trying to get it to Davis. It's Devin White, the linebacker. And the Panthers Panthers are going to take over here up near the 40.
That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Following the interception, here's Prescott. That'll be caught. It's St. Brown. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Now a 2nd and 10.
To throw is Prescott.
Smith and Jigba with a grab.
And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 26. Here's Prescott.
That's caught. It's Strange, the tight end.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Up the middle they go with Sanders. They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Now Prescott.
Throwing the out route here, and it's complete to Kelsey.
Touchdown, Panthers. Travis Kelsey, a 9-yard touchdown grab.
And the Panthers have cut it back within a score.
That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will shrink to 6.
After the touchdown on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30. He might take this all the way. He will take this all the way. Touchdown, Minnesota. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him. Kick it to him. The way he runs, as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown, as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25.
It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. Play fake. Here's Prescott.
Finds his man. It's Kelsey on the crossing route here.
And he gets this one in midfield before he's brought down. That'll put him at 77 yards receiving for the ball game. It's a first down.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it, and they do so and pick up a first down.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On the counter now, it's Sanders. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. C.J. Mosley getting to him behind the line of scrimmage there.
And now you have to wonder, partner, at what point in time do they forget the running game? It's been a struggle so far in this one. I would think they'd have to start throwing it a little bit more.
Meanwhile, Dax, this throw finds Smith-Njigba. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 34-yard line. Give them 18 on the play. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 34. Going right back to Smith-Njigba. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. He's been a one-man wrecking crew these last couple of plays. This time 18 more and a first down. From the red zone now, Prescott. He'll find Hodgins there complete. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that's going to bring up second down.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6 at the Vikings' 12-yard line.
A give running left, it's Sanders. The nice footwork gets him just inside the 10 to the 9, but no further. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
Brings up 3rd and 3.
They're going to go with a tight end here on the running play. And the Panthers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Sanders looking for a signal, but none forthcoming. They stopped him shy of the goal line. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
Leads to 2nd and goal.
Once again with Sanders. And he's not going to push his way forward. He's going to be stopped at the 2-yard line. Can this Vikings D hold up one more time? 3rd and goal. Oh, they go with a tight end carry. And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. Brenton Strange with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Panthers are back within a score. Well, you know, you can't get all the points back at once, but baby steps a good start.
A start that was sorely needed because this team looked like they might be out of this one, but getting a touchdown, getting back into it, gives them hope as they move forward.
Point after, right down the middle. And they're within 7 now at 28-21.
Panthers 21.
Scott on the return, out of the end zone. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. And now out comes Minnesota. And their lead cut in half by that touchdown a moment ago. They are up 7 as they begin this drive 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He's going to drop this underneath for Robinson. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7. Play action. Now it's Lance. Open man is Osborne. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down. 3rd down and 6. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Throwing now is Lance. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. A sizable 16-yard chunk there. The drive continues.
Partner, even I can figure out who deserves the lion's share of credit for their lead right now because He has been terrific in a dual threat role, really chewing up yardage and getting them points with his legs. Simply put, that defense has had no way of stopping him, and that's why his side is on top.
On play action, Lance. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
At the 47-yard line.
And Lance now to throw. Sets up the screen to Robinson. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. A yard all they need, but it's 3rd down. Here's Lance. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There's pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
And he's going to have the 1st down, yardage to the 35. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Azeez Ojulari there on the tackle. Here's a 2nd and 5.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5 at the 30-yard line.
Robinson with another carry. About 3 yards there to the 27.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Robinson will try to pick it up. And they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
So here now is Brandon McManus in a big spot. This to make it a 2-score game. The kick by McManus is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that CD, an important one here in the 4th quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
They start on the ground here at Sanders. And he's brought down, getting this one to about the 35. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Hodgins in motion. Running the jet sweep as Prescott bats it forward.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
2nd and 9 at the 36-yard line.
2nd down, Prescott. The Sanders has got it complete. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 43. A gain there of 21 yards. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that on your side.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Sanders here as they run out of the gun. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 14. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. They'll run with Penny here out of the shotgun. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Rashad Penny, 14 yards. And the Panthers have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of the season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. I don't want to say that they're completely against the wall here, Charles, but all of a sudden, with the run that they've been on the other sideline, this is down to a 3-point game. They got to be careful.
Not much space from their back to the wall, though. So you're exactly right. They've got to be careful here. But this is where the value of note-taking and recall comes into play. What was working earlier? Why was it working? Can you get those types of matchups again? And can you run those plays that get you a little bit more breathing room and a little bit of space?
A throw over the middle taken in. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. To throw, it's Lance. Now he lets it go deep for Kirk. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I've got a good friend in football who always talks about predictive history. He's got one of their 2 touchdowns. You can understand why they tried to find him again. Weren't able to connect, but the thought, that was good.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. That's taken on the 25. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Offense looked a little bit discouraged after that play, shaking their heads a bit, looking at each other. I think they thought they'd get a lot more out of that call. Sometimes you do get the running lane you want, and other times the defensive front, they just break up the play before it can get going.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Prescott from the gun. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. He'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 23 yards, the final tally.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive, and it would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 41. Prescott now. Left side, he finds Smith and Jigba. We'll get a pause here. There appears to be a Panther who is shaken up on that last play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Ball on the 36 now. Here's 2nd down and 5. And again, it's Prescott. Complete, the tight end, Kelsey. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 26. Looking to throw, Prescott. Across the middle, he's got it complete to St. Brown. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Well, they had a gain of 10 last time, now a gain of 20 here. Here's 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 6-yard line.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. A line of scrimmage once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Here's Dak. to the end zone, but it's incomplete. He's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
It makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a
touchdown? Travis Kelce, a beast in the red zone with his second touchdown of the game. And the Panthers have taken a fourth-quarter lead. And Charles, they continue to have trouble stopping him as he's into the end zone yet again.
Yeah, that's multiple series now that have ended with him in the end zone. A perfect plan on how to utilize him best when they get in close.
Important extra point up and through, and that will make this a 4-point game. This taken in right around the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. So all eyes on this Vikings offense. Down by 4. A little under a minute 50 remaining. They've surrendered a double-digit lead, but can rescue themselves late as they come up on first down. Open man is Osborne. He's got it. Finding space at the 40. And he's going to get out of bounds with the first down. So that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the first and save a timeout. Absolutely ideal there. Get a good size play, get out of bounds.
Well, you saw the coaching there. That is taught and it is emphasized. Get out of bounds, understand your situation, as well as just understanding the game.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Now Lance. And this one is incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Lance back to throw. Down the numbers. There he goes. Touchdown, Vikings. Trey Lance, his 3rd touchdown of the game, his 8th on the year. And the Vikings answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a 4th-quarter lead. So minutes after giving up the lead in the 4th quarter, they say not so fast. Big play, and they grab that lead right back.
Talk about a seesaw game. Up, down, up, down. Did you have a seesaw? Did you play that when you were a kid?
Oh, yeah. Out on the playground, absolutely.
You had to make sure that you matched weight, though, on the other side, though, right? Otherwise, you could be up in the air a long time.
By the way, we're not done in this one. I think we're set up for an exciting finish. Extra point from McManus is good. So it's now a 3-point game here in the closing stages as a field goal now can only tie it. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. And now it's the Panthers' turn. Trailing by a field goal. A little over 80 ticks to go. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Now Dak. Hard throw, incomplete.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't, because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. So now let's reset here, Charles. They do have 2 timeouts left, so they can stop the clock twice. This one's not quite over yet.
No, and what you're doing on defense, you're going to use both timeouts, obviously. But you've got to call defenses are going to force the issue early, meaning you want that play over fast. You don't want to give them time to dance around in the backfield or run a wide sweep that'll take a long time. Blitz them, put pressure on them, make sure that play ends quickly so that you can go ahead and keep moving.
Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
The kick by McManus is good.
So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away.
And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Panthers now set to take over offensively.
And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game, and sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last position.
And he lost the football, and the Vikings pick up the football. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force.
And I believe the referee's been buzzed. Yeah, they want to take another look at this call, and it's certainly a big one here late in a tight game. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
Now this offense cannot stop the clock now. No timeouts remaining as they come up here 1st down. And that'll be incomplete with a penalty flag here on the field. And I'm not sure he was still behind the line when he let that thing go. Yeah, we kind of sensed that one. He got a little too far forward before throwing, and that one will set them back.
And remember, the NFL level, being aware of where the line of scrimmage is crucial. And here's the other part. Any part of the quarterback's body that's near that line of scrimmage, he's going to get the benefit of the doubt. So he was clearly over the line.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical 3rd down here. Here's Prescott. Into the hands of Sanders. And he will hustle out of bounds. That stops the clock. But, boy, that's just a very minimal gain. And also, keep in mind, it's 4th down. No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now.
Desperation time. Prescott on 4th.
Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. Picked off by Devin Witherspoon.
When you talk about making winning plays, that is a winning play at this stage of the game. To come up with that interception, huge.
I like how you identified that because most people think winning plays are the offense trying to get it done. In this case, nursing a lead, they found a way to make a play on that side of the ball and maybe finish things off.
Down to a knee goes Lance, and that should just about do it. Charles, normally when you see a group score this many points, it's a complete blowout. But instead, they needed every single one of those in this close, high-scoring affair.
And Brandon, I'm still on the edge of my seat after that one because when you have that much scoring and it still comes down to a one-possession game at the end, that's not something we see very often. In this case, these offenses, they brought it. The defenses, they're going to need some work going forward.
So for the Vikings, they pick up their 2nd win now on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Carolina, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel up to Detroit to take on the Lions. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. Till next time, we say so long from Charlotte.